Welcome to the Holz Rubber retaining rings and control rods training. We hope that you find this information helpful in understanding the use of retaining rings and control rods on pressure-bearing expansion joints. It is critical to use retaining rings and control rods properly. If you do not use them, the expansion joint could be damaged and potentially void the warranty. On rubber expansion joints, retaining rings are used to help distribute the sealing forces all along the flange face. Retaining rings are specific to each expansion joint and are sized and drilled to match the bolt pattern of the mating flange. You must use retaining rings to prevent the bolts from penetrating the rubber flange, which will destroy the joint. Retaining rings are finished by rounding or beveling the metal so that no sharp edges can cut into the flange of the expansion joint. Standard retaining rings are 3/8 of an inch thick and are supplied in segments for ease of installation and handling. The number of segments is determined by the size of the expansion joint. Retaining rings can be provided in many different types of metal and can be treated with various coatings. Whenever possible, it is a good idea to use a retaining ring that is made from the same material that the pipe components and fasteners are made from. When installing retaining rings, the use of washers is recommended. The washers help to spread the force of each bolt to the retaining ring to provide a reliable seal all around the expansion joint. Make sure to install the head of the bolts towards the arch so the threads do not penetrate the arch when the expansion joint is compressed. A control rod is a device used in conjunction with an expansion joint to prevent excessive movement beyond what the expansion joint is designed for. Control rods are also known as limit rods or tie rods. The control rod assembly consists of two control rod ears, a threaded rod, and stop nuts. The control rod ear is a flat rectangular plate with 3 holes in it. The bottom 2 holes bolt up to the outside of the mating flange. The top third hole is where the control rod is installed. The number of control rods are based on the max design pressure of the system. To determine how many control rods are recommended, please visit holzrubber.com or consult with your Holz representative. The control rod assemblies must be placed in equal intervals around the expansion joint. They are installed by mounting the ears on the outside of the equipment flange while the expansion joint is being put in place. You will need longer bolts where the ears are located. Once the 2 ears are in place, the control rod is fed through the top third hole in the control rod ears. The stop nuts are then installed per specification. The stop nuts will prevent the expansion joint from overextending beyond its limits. To prevent overcompression of the expansion joint, a compression sleeve can be used. This is installed over the control rod in between the control rod ears. This sleeve makes it impossible for the expansion joint to compress more than its design capabilities. As an alternative to using a compression sleeve, internal stop nuts may be used. Internal stop nuts require installation at a specified distance from each other based on the expansion joint's design. We hope that you have found this segment educational. For more information, please visit holzrubber.com.